Snake Cinema Podcast stepping in. Your one-stop review, let it sink in. Hip-hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
You're welcome. What it do to another episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I am your host, Prince Elias. Ooh, that camera's off. Okay, there we go. I'm your host, Prince Elias, and today is a wonderful, special day. I usually say that every show, but today is really a special day because today, February 7th, is my mother's birthday. Brr, 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 brr. Do I got sound effects? I do. Burr, 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 burr. Air horn. Happy birthday to Mon Dukes. She is 58 years old, and we're going to be going out to celebrate her today after I get through with this podcast. So, depending on, we do have a couple of surprises for her. So, depending on when we're all done with that, I might tap in later on tonight on Sophisticated Ignorance. We'll see. But for right now, today is all about her. So happy birthday, Mommy. I love you. And thank you for all that you do. So let's see. Also, housekeeping news. The auction for Bosa is still happening. It's happening next weekend, the 13th and the 14th. Going to start on Friday night, and then whatever animals or merchandise or store credit is left, they will do part 2 on Saturday on Sophisticated Ignorance. So it's next weekend, the 13th and the 14th, auction for Bosa. But in the meantime, if you don't want to be a part of the auction, or if you don't but you still want to help out and help Bosa in any way, here is his Cash App. You can send money directly to him. $ KeyKO3 on Cash App. And if you know him personally, you know his number or whatever. He might have Zelle or PayPal, I'm not sure, but either way, whatever you can to help him out and his children as they navigate life through this difficult time. You know, at the end of the day, when life goes on and people move on, they still have to deal with a lot of things, medical bills and stuff like that. And even emotionally, they still got a lot to deal with to navigate this new life without the Queen Diana. So please, if you may, help out any way you can. Anything helps. But if you want to participate, donate merch. I'll be donating merch. Donate store credit if you don't think you have enough animals to donate, or if you got some clutches coming on the ground, you got some store credit you want to give, whatever, ever, you can to help with that auction. Hit up Pressure P Justin, hit up Ken, LMK Reptiles, hit up Wiz Constrictors, hit them up. Please don't wait till the last minute to try to throw donations in. Do it now before the show, because they're not going to do last minute night of stuff because it's just way too much. It's way too much to put on these auctions, and it's way too much to handle and keep track of everything that's been donated, what's been won and stuff. So please, if you really want to help us out, do it early and send the pictures, because Wiz is working hard making the slideshows and making everything look nice for this coming weekend event. But like I said, in the meantime, if you just want to donate to Bosa, his Cash App is right there on the banner, and I will keep that up, or I'll pop that up every now and again throughout the show, just in case you forget. Hold your line. Anyways, love you, Bosa. Love you, Princess Bosa. Love you, Bosa Jr. And we love you, Diana. Rest in peace. All right. Now, let's see. This episode and every episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and Terrell. Thank y'all for supporting your boy, supporting the channel, supporting not only Snake Cinema Podcast, but the Shenanigans Podcast. We love and appreciate y'all. And definitely, if y'all went to see her, I'm keep telling y'all, they spoiled us. They spoiled us. TJ cooked so a fire ass meal. Man, I was eating, all I gotta say is I was eating pound cake on the way home, that 6-hour drive. Bang. So we love and appreciate ENT. We appreciate y'all both. Thank y'all for all that you do and for always supporting your boy and the whole family. We love you. We love y'all for real, for life. Okay, so before we do our news of the week and get into this show, let's go ahead and talk to the people in the Chizzy chats who is up early this morning, walking dogs, eating breakfast, drinking coffee. First, we got Posty Will. Thanks for tapping in. Hey, if y'all missed the last episode of 10 for Fitness this past Thursday, I was a special guest and we talked our favorites or the top 10 Hollywood conspiracy theories. Please go back and watch that on Will's channel, 217 Pythons. That was a dope episode. I had a lot of fun on there with Wiz and Will. It was a lot of fun. And we still didn't get to everything on the list. There were way more conspiracy theories, but we had fun. That was a great show. So if you missed it, hashtag replay gang, go back and watch 10 for Fitteds on 217 Python's channel. We have Father Don in the building, the purple one. Thanks for tapping in. The naked gardener is watching while planting some seeds. There we go. Let's do this. And also tomorrow on Everyday Keepers, Father Dunn will have another guest return from the past. And me and Wiz got to meet him in person at Sear, and that is Michael, I believe, Wilder, the real Wilder on Instagram. He has monitors, a whole slew of things. Snakes outside of ball pythons, like he has some heat. Now we met him and his best friend, who was his camera guy. And if you haven't, he also has a YouTube channel where he drops some vlogs. And it was fun. It was great meeting Wilder in person. I'm gonna keep calling him Wilder because I keep forgetting his real name, but the kid is very, very nice in person, very cool. And it was a lot of, and I say kid, he's a grown man, but he's younger than me. But it was great meeting him in person. So he will be coming back, returning as Father Dunn special guest on Everyday Keepers. So we get to see updates. We get to see about the new animals that he has, that he cares for, the new monitors that he updates on some of his monitors from the last episode. So please tap in tomorrow, Everyday Keepers. I'm excited about that. Chris, thanks for tapping in. Christopher Walker, appreciate you always supporting. Always in the chats, always supporting everybody. Bosa, brother, we love you. We love you, appreciate you. Oh, thank you. I will let my mama know, because my mom laughs because I'm either on Discord talking to reptile friends or on a podcast. And so she always asks, are those my reptile babies? Are those my snake babies? So I will let her know that her reptile babies, her other children wished her a happy birthday today when we go out to lunch. So I will let her know that y'all wished her a happy birthday today. I appreciate y'all. Let's see, make sure I don't forget anybody this morning. And I apologize if you hear a train. Oh, there go our sponsors right there. ENT, grabbing breakfast. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you for everything. All right. Oh, thank you. Yes, I did see that. Yes, you wished her a happy birthday on Facebook. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yes, I did make a post on Facebook and tagged her. So she will definitely see y'all, if y'all my Facebook friends on there. Let's see. Okay, so today we're talking Grammy Awards, all things Grammys that happened last Sunday. So I will be talking performances. I will be talking about the big awards, and I will be talking about some of the more smaller awards. But before we do that, I think it was Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. Some big news drops, a couple of things dropped out of the House of Mouse, aka Walt Disney Company, and I need to talk about that. So, big news of the biggest news of the week is that they finally allowed Bob Iger to retire for a second time, and he now named his new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. But before we talk about that, Disney did come out with their numbers. And thanks to all the boycotts, shout out to everybody who boycotted Disney Plus, ABC, ESPN after that whole scandal with Jimmy Kimmel. Y'all did a great job, and I appreciate y'all for sticking to the boycotts. They went down and lost money in all of their entertainment divisions. They lost money in the movies, they lost money in the streaming, and they lost money in the TV shows. Those numbers came out, and they were down since 2024. They lost a big chunk of money. So when people say that boycotts don't work, when people say pulling your dollars don't work, that is a motherfucking lie. It do work. Some people will try to police protesting and blah blah blah, but when you pull away from your dollars, and Target is a perfect example. What happened to Target last year is a perfect example. When you pull away your dollars, when you take away your money and say, we are done, we're no longer shopping with you, we're no longer giving you our money, because people forget. People like to treat, especially Black folks, marginalized communities, they like to treat, the working class like we're just some poor, helpless dummies. Well, when we decided to say, okay, we're going to take our dollars away and not spend billions and billions from y'all, they realized how much they really, really need us. So taking away your $14.99 a month on Disney Plus, taking away not going to the movie theaters to see the stuff in theaters, taking away all that, the viewerships on traditional television, that hurts them bad, and they've learned that lesson. So kudos to everybody who decided to join me and others in the boycotts, who canceled your subscriptions and all that jazz. They realized that they really fucked up. But so yeah, those numbers came out, but they did still make a profit, and they did make a profit last quarter, only thanks to what I've been saying for years, even before I worked for them. What I've been saying for years, the bastard stepchild that the higher ups, the CEOs, always neglect, but somehow it's the child that always bring in the money, always bring in the funds, always bring in the returning customer base, and that is the theme parks and cruise lines. They actually went up 5% in the quarter. With their theme parks, with Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Tokyo Disney, Disneyland Paris, the cruise ships. They've just added a brand new cruise ship, and they're adding 3 more within by the next 5 years. They're committed to adding 3 more cruise ships. And they're building and laying the groundwork, even though I don't plan on ever going because of their laws. But they're planning to build a theme park in Dubai, in those areas in the Middle East. But unfortunately, my trans Black ass cannot go. Otherwise, I'll be jailed or stoned. But anyway, that's neither here or there. But their money maker, they make money with their theme parks, with their experiences, with their traveling, their cruises, their hotels. That has been keeping the company afloat. If Walt Disney Company was just strictly on entertainment, like if they did not have no theme parks at all, if they had no hotels, if they didn't own half of Orlando, if they didn't have what Walt built as far as live human experiences, and if they were like all these other movie studios, they only relied on the art, they would have been fucked. They probably would have been bought out from some tech bros by now. They would have been so messed up because Hollywood is fickle. It goes up and down, up and down. You can't rely on just your movies and your TV shows to keep your company afloat. Ask Warner Brothers, ask Paramount, who got bought out by Skydance. Ask any of these other studios that don't have a lick of ownership in anything but their content. Yeah, the theme park saved the world. And I say all that and I talk about that first because that is the biggest reason why the news of the new CEO is so big. When, first of all, Bob Iger has been the CEO of the Walt Disney Company for at least 20 years, 2 decades. He is the reason. So much has happened, and I know time flies, especially with COVID and everything. Time flies, but Bob Iger is the reason why Disney has Star Wars, why Disney has Marvel, why Disney has Pixar and everything. Bob Iger did all of that in the 20 plus years he's been CEO. He made modern Disney the way it is, and there's good and bad in both. There's good things about it that I respect Bob with, and there's some bad things about it. Especially as someone who's a former employee, and like, why are you making these billions of dollars and your theme park employees can't even? They have to have 3 jobs. They can't even have a living wage or whatever. And again, Disney owns half of Orlando. Like, come on now. But that's a rant for another day. So when he first tried to retire, when he first attempted to retire out of his tenure as CEO, he put in someone who was over merchandise in charge as CEO, which was Bob Chapek. And we all know the story of how Bob Chapek pretty much almost destroyed the company within the first year of being CEO because of his stupid decisions with the company. He almost destroyed the theme parks. He almost destroyed Disney Plus. He destroyed plenty of relationships with hot Hollywood stars, with Marvel and stuff like that. Like, Bob Chapek almost ran that company to the ground to where Bob Iger had to come out of retirement. He couldn't even be retired for a year. He came out of retirement to be CEO again because they were losing investors. They were losing they were losing the fans. They were losing everybody. So Bob Iger came out of retirement, came back and tried to fix all the issues that Bob Chapek caused. And now, as he's stepping away again, trying to be free of the company, he decided to shake things up. And for the first time ever, first time ever, all the CEOs that has ever been a part of Walt Disney Company after Walt's passing has been people who never was working at the bottom of the company. Bob was like the first one because Bob Iger used to work for ABC back in the day as a young blood, and he wrote in his book and everything about his story. But before him, everybody who was ever CEO of the company, who was in charge of the company, has been like big wig executive business bros, those type of things. And so, man, I lost my train of thought. And so basically, now things have been shaken up. Now we have someone who used to work for who used to be one of us, someone who worked at the bottom, someone who isn't a tech bro. Because the Wall Street Journal swore up and down that the new CEO was going to be someone big tech, big in stocks and merchandise. Wall Street Journal really predicted the next CEO was going to be like a Elon Musk type of person. They was really betting on it. But no, we now have CEO Josh D'Amaro. And Josh D'Amaro, he started with the company many years ago in the theme parks as a employee. He joined the Disney company, and then he also his big background was leadership roles in consumer products for Disneyland and Disney World. So he was in leadership, like management of their merchandise in the theme parks. And prior to that, and then he moved up. He worked his way up to the point to where he became chairman of Disney Experiences, which means he was in charge of all the theme parks, all of the cruise lines, and all of the merchandise. And he did that, I believe, since COVID, since 2020, or a little bit before that. And now Bob Iger selected him to be the new CEO of the entire company as a whole. So that's shaking everything up. People really thought streaming or tech bros was gonna be over everything. And so Josh D'Amaro is now CEO, and taking his place at the new CO, creative director, is Dana Walden. So congrats to her. She will be working under him in the creative division. So she'll be under all things creativity, like the movies and stuff like that. And then Bob will continue to serve as an employee for Disney as an advisor to Josh D'Amaro until he fit for a year. They said Bob will have that job as advisor for a year, and then he will fully retire and take a break and relax. So everybody has been, as far as Disney goes, everybody in Wall Street and business news, everybody has been losing their shit. Some are happy, some are mad that the new CEO is the guy who is over the theme parks. But it makes sense. For me, it makes sense because the theme parks, the cruise lines, the experiences is what's keeping this company afloat, is what's giving them. They went down in the market, they went down in money, they went down, they lost money everywhere else. They only gained a profit with the live experiences. So why not trust the person who keeps bringing in more and more revenue to the company? It's like, this is a risk. This is a risk, but I think it's a good risk. And Josh did say, he did come out and say, because people has been fearing the whole AI taking over, Disney embracing AI, stuff like that. And Josh came out and let it be known that as long as he is CEO, AI is not replacing the human experience, because humans is what make the magic. And he's like, no, we're not saying they will never use AI. Like, they will use AI. Let's just keep it real. That's why they made a licensing agreement with ChatGPT and another AI company. They're gonna take advantage, get their money. But with the fears that people had that they would use AI for their movies and all this other stuff, and let AI take over, jobs and stuff like that at theme parks, he let it be known that no, AI is not going to take over the human experience as long as he is CEO of the company. So I have faith in Josh, but it's cautionary faith. I'm not having blind faith. I'm keeping my reservations, because I know corporations, I know big wigs that are all about the money. So I'm gonna, like when you get a new job and you're on a 90-day period, grace period or whatever, or a probationary period. That's how I am with Josh as CEO. I'm excited, but I'm cautious. I'm be watching. I'm be looking, and see if he can do better than Bob Iger. He definitely can't do no better. He can't definitely can do better than Bob Chapek, but anybody can do better than Bob Chapek. I can do better CEOs than Bob Chapek, but we'll see. We'll see how Josh does, but I have faith. I have faith. Now, who is going to take his place and be in charge of the theme parks, and how will they handle the theme parks is to be determined. And that is what I'm more worried about. Because that could make or break, it, and run stuff to the ground. Because I don't want um, it to end up being worse than what it already is as far as like pricing goes, and making it hard for everyday common folks to, people are going into debt trying to have a Disney vacation, and that's ridiculous. It wasn't like that when I was working for the company. I mean, it was always expensive, it was premium, but it's just like the prices of everything keeps going up, but the experiences aren't justifying the prices anymore. Um, and a lot of that is to blame Chapek and Bob Iger, but hopefully Josh Tomorrow will help make it better than what it is. If you're not gonna lower the prices, at least up the experiences to make it worth it. Because right now, it's some of this stuff is not worth it. Like I haven't stayed at a Disney hotel in a long time. Not even their quote unquote value hotels. They're cheaper hotels. Like this last trip for my race, I was at an Airbnb because it was a whole lot cheaper. Back in the day, if you stayed at their hotels, they had free transportation that would pick you up from the airport and take you to the hotel and then take you back to the airport when you're about to leave. They took that away during COVID or whatever. And it hasn't been back since, and stuff like that. If we're going to pay those premium hotel prices where I'm staying at a Motel 6 like with just pictures of Mickey Mouse on the walls, but I'm paying $700, $800 a night, $600 a night, $400 a night, and you can't even pick me up from the airport for free like you used to do back in the day. Then what's the point of paying that premium when I could just rent a car and stay at an Airbnb, or rent a car and stay at a Holiday Inn for way cheaper? Like, so that's to be determined. We'll see. But congrats to Josh Tomorrow, our new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. And we'll see how things go. That is. But that's the biggest news of the week, at least for me. Let's see. Sounds like we have to boycott Netflix now. That one's gonna hurt, but they play right now. I'm so over Netflix. I'm be honest with you. A lot of stuff that I watch via Netflix has not been on Netflix. I told you I've been Jack Sparrow on a lot of stuff. If you know, you know. And yeah, it's not worth the price. And I don't commit to their TV shows because of the bullshit. They will give you a TV show, it'd be great, go viral, have a lot of reviews, a lot of positive reviews, a lot of viewers, a lot of people going back to rewatch it, and then they be like, "Oh, we're not renewing it for season 2. We're just going to cancel it," and then you don't get but the season 1 left on a cliffhanger. Like, I'm over that. I'm so over that. I hate Netflix as far as their TV show division. AA Run number 3, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. TJ, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Tommy, Ewok, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. I've been streaming Becoming on, right? Right. Let's see. I don't even want to get into that, but oh my gosh. Fuck Trump. That's all I'm going to say. After what he did toward the Obamas, yeah, I don't care no more. I don't care. I'm over it. Done what you cooking over there. All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of this show. Get into the meat and yes. I mean, we been knew that, Orlando. You and we been knew that, but other people are like, "Oh, I can't believe he would do that." Oh, okay. No, that's what y'all voted for. Anywho, continue to donate to Bosa's Cash. All right, so let's talk about the Grammy Awards that happened last weekend. The Grammys happened, and I'm gonna break this down. Break this down in sections. I'm gonna talk performances. I'm gonna talk the winners, the big winners. And then I'm going to talk overall how I feel about the entire show as a whole. And get my notes. Sorry if that was loud in your ears. Let's see. First of all, Trevor Noah came back as host, and Trevor Noah is great. He has been the host for the past couple of years, and his monologue, his opening monologues, and all his jokes throughout were very Trevor Noah, but it worked. He did the job. He did it. You know, if you've seen one Grammy with Trevor Noah as host, you've seen them all. Nothing too special, nothing too provocative, but very entertaining. Let's see. Oh, I will say this. My favorite of all that really got me choked up was the in memoriam section. You know, they always honor the people who have passed away throughout the year, the previous year. And it was a special tribute specifically to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack. But of course, they put in the background everybody who passed away that was part of music in any way. And they had, as a performer, Lauryn Hill, Layla Hathaway, and a couple of other people. But that tribute, when I tell you that tribute was very, very beautiful, very touching, very emotional. And Lauryn Hill was the perfect person to spearhead that. Especially because she famously did the remake to Roberta Flack's "Killing Me Softly," but that entire performance, the entire section of the in memoriam was beautiful, and Lauryn looked great. She sounded great. Her vocals, oh my gosh, chef's kiss, and it was just perfect. Out of all the in memoriams that ever happened in the past, this one was really, really perfect in my eyes. And just it was a beautiful, touching tribute, and for them to end it. And if you don't listen to gospel music, if you're not a gospel music fan, you wouldn't have gotten it. But at the very, very end, they sung the very last part to Total Praise by Richard Smallwood, who just recently passed away. He's a gospel legend who just recently passed away last month. To end with them singing the final amens of his song, Total Praise. That was like, I was crying. I ain't gonna lie, I was crying on that part. I like, damn. So shout out to Lauryn Hill, Layla Hathaway, the rest of the Fugees, just everybody, the background singers, the musicians, everybody who was a part of that tribute. That was the best performance of the whole night, honestly. I'll be honest with y'all. Like, that was just, it was touching. And rest in peace to every artist, musician, composer, director, producer, singer, rapper who had passed. It was tough. We lost a lot of people. When you think about Angie Stone, D'Angelo, it was just a lot of people we lost in 2025, leading even into 2026, because Richard Smallwood passed away January. Like, I think close to New Year's is when they announced this past. Like, it's been rough for music fans everywhere. But yeah, that was my favorite performance of the night. Like, I've been watching that on repeat because people have reposted that performance on YouTube. I've been watching that on repeat. It was just woo. Pat, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Let's see. yes. The Trevor Noah Bad Bunny part was, I loved it. Trevor is good. He's good. He's a good comedian. But yeah, that was a great moment. Him and Bad Bunny. Look, all the reactions and reposts I've been seeing of Bad Bunny in the audience, like the audience reactions throughout the show, like there were celebrities running up to him in between like commercial breaks and stuff and scaring the shit out of him because he'll be like in the zone just looking at somebody with tap on his shoulder. It was a lot. Like, Bad Bunny was the guy of the night. He was the guy. That's why they sat him up front. Like, the Grammys do know what they be doing when they be doing these seating arrangements. They sat him perfectly where everywhere them cameras was looking, he was there. Yes, he is that dude. Definitely. Let's see. All right. I do want to talk about, before we get into the big four awards, I do want to talk about the Grammys that weren't televised or wasn't like highlighted, because the Grammy Awards is so big and they have a lot of awards to give out that not everything ends up in the main show that we see on TV. Actually, they be giving out awards. Let's say the Grammy Awards, because everything happens in LA and Hollywood. The sun still be out. Let's say the show, for us, it starts at like 7 or 8 p.m. But let's just say the main show starts at 5 California time. They was giving out awards at noon in the afternoon, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. That's how many awards they had to give out. So a lot of awards were not televised, but they still had videos and reactions and live streams going on online throughout the day, the entire day. So we got to see some people win awards even before the main event. And so I want to shout out and congratulate Duran Bernard for Best Contemporary R&B. And when, y'all seen the memes. Y'all seen the memes. Y'all seen the video when he ran on that stage. And I guess that was his assistant chasing after him because he forgot something as he was running on stage. And then eventually his parents came and joined him and stuff like that. But that run, that's gonna be a meme for ages of him running on that stage. And I meant him because I've seen Duran Bernard for so many years online. So many years I've seen his rise. He's been doing this for over a decade. He's been putting himself and his music out there for at least 10 years. I've been following his journey for a long time. So to see him finally get his recognition from the higher ups, from the Grammys, and the only reason why he was able to get his Grammy Awards because his dad submitted his album. His dad had put his album up for consideration. He didn't do it, or he's independent. Duran is independent. He's not a part of a big record label. So for his dad to submit his record to the Grammys for your consideration, and for him to win for Best New Contemporary R&B artist, and that album is great. That Bloom is amazing. I wish I had reviewed it and did a show on it. Bloom is absolutely, I love that album. But Duran did such a great job, and I'm so proud of him. I was so happy for him. Also, Kehlani with Folded. Kehlani is another one of them other ones that I've been listening to for over 10 years. Like, I think I first heard what You Should Be Here. I know it was before I became a teacher. I was still working at Target. So that was probably like 2014 or 2015, when one of my coworkers, I'll never forget, one of my coworkers from Target was like, "Hey, have you ever heard that new Kehlani John?" And I was like, "What?" And I had to go online and look it up because her album wasn't in stores or whatever. And to see her start from there to now, she won multiple awards in the R&B. She won Best R&B Song, and I think it's Song or Record, and then Performance, Best R&B Performance. So shout out to her for that. I was super happy about that. Other awards that were not televised, but were very iconic. Kirk Franklin and Brandy both won Black Music Icon Awards, so shout out to them. Mariah Carey won Person of the Year Awards, and there was a stream. They did stream a tribute concert to her where a bunch of celebrities came out and sang some of her songs and stuff like that. Some of them were better than others. Some of them you could see Mariah's reaction in the audience, like, you know how Prince, when people would do tributes to Prince in front of Prince, and you know they vocals went up to snuff, and Prince had to sit there and try to be political with his facial expressions, but you knew he was not liking it. Man, I miss those. Back in those BET Awards days where people they be having an R&B singer singing a Prince song tribute to him, and he in the audience, and you could tell Prince was not liking them vocals. That's how it was with Mariah. Some of them girls, and Billy Porter. Oh my gosh, Billy Porter. Y'all just gotta look it up. Look up Mariah Carey's Person of the Year. Oh, tribute performances. Oh my gosh. And I love me some Billy Porter, but baby, I felt for. I know Mariah was getting secondhand embarrassment for some of them girls trying to hit her notes, sing her songs, and hit her notes, and not up to par. But shout out to Mariah Carey, Person of the Year. She got that. A bunch of other people, and I think Pharrell got Dr. Dre's something. One of those new awards, iconic awards that they give out. Yes, thank you. Orlando said Billy was just hooting and hollering. Yes. When I tell you I had a good laugh. Oh my gosh, in the best way. Like that was funny. That was funny. But yeah, I bet Mariah took a lot of Tylenol that night for the headache them folks gave her at her own tribute. But shout out to all those winners. Even if your stuff wasn't televised live on the main show, y'all, that don't mean nothing. Y'all still Grammy Award winners, icon winners. Um, y'all are still the best at the best. So congrats to Kurt Franklin, Brandy, Mariah Carey. Shout out to Kaylani, Duran Bernard, all y'all. I was so happy to see y'all get honored for all the hard work that y'all done in this music industry. Uh, and then also, let's give a shout out because I know the Oscars are going to be on a bullshit. So let's go ahead and give a shout out and congratulations to Sinners, the best film of 2025. They got 2 Grammy Awards, one for Best Score and one for Best Compilation Soundtrack. And guess what? The 2 producers who helped produce the music to that are Memphis natives. So they got to go up with Ludwig, who is the main composer, who's in charge of all the music, who's a major collaborator. He's talented in his own right. Major collaborator with Ryan Coogler. He's done all the Black Panther soundtracks, all that jazz. So I'm not knocking Ludwig because he is that one. He is that dude. He is so talented as far as music go. But I want to give shout out to his other contributors, his other co-producers who be helping him out in the music because they are Memphis natives, Memphis legends, and they also won a Grammy for Best Score and Best Soundtrack. So I am so happy. That made me happy to see Sinners take home 2 Grammys. So because the music was a big part of the story, big part of the narrative, big part of the film. The music what made the film as good or better than what it was. Like everybody keeps talking about that scene where they're dancing, and then all of the different spirits, the ancestors of the past and the future was coming together and dancing with them. The music was a big part of that movie and what made that movie great. So for them to win 2 Grammys for score and soundtrack, compilation soundtrack, it was well deserved. So shout out to Sinners. And just in case, the Oscars be on their bullshit in the coming weeks, at least they got recognized with the other big award shows. Banner, niece, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. I believe I hit all of Mariah's notes when I was singing in the shower. No, we are. Oh, y'all are crazy. I'm a fan of his work, but baby, yeah, Billy was hooting and hollering. I'm enjoying Bloom, and yes, that run through the theater was a moment. Yes. Oh yeah, his suit was nice. Oh my gosh, Duran Bernard is hilarious. If he wasn't a serious singer musician, he would have did great in comedy movies. Like he just naturally funny. If y'all go back and watch some of his older interviews on YouTube, it's like that boy is just a natural funny guy, and it's just hilarious. He's hilarious. So I wasn't shocked at the run. It was just great. It was just great. I wasn't shocked because I was like, out of all singers to run on stage like that when they get a Grammy, it would be Duran. It would definitely be him. Prince did not have a poker face, right? Man, never had a poker face. Like it did sometimes. What kills me is that it was one of those BET awards. I can't remember or maybe it was the Soul Train Awards, but he had shades on and there was no smile on his face. But he had the shades on. I was like, if those shades weren't on, if I was the artist on stage singing, I probably would stop singing right then and there because I would know that I fucked up. I would automatically know I fucked it up just by looking at Prince. Oh God. I think it was Trey Songz who was singing the song for Prince. It had to be because Trey Songz is not good live. He cannot hit high notes, and I think it was Trey Songz was a part of a tribute for Prince, and that was very telling. Oh man, I miss that guy. R.I.P. to Prince. I missed him. If for nothing else, his reaction at these award shows. Every award show, whether it was the Grammys, the BET, the Soul Train, every time the camera panned to Prince in the audience, even if he wasn't the subject of honoree, he's just hilarious. He's just a hilarious dude. Oh my gosh. That stank face he did when he presented at one of the Grammy Awards, like Best Artist, and he saw who was the winner was. That's still the perfect meme picture. Like, dang, if I won an award that Prince pretty much said in his face I didn't deserve it, I would feel bad. I would be like, you know what, I'm not finna go up there on this stage. Okay, so now let's get to the performances, because it's a music awards. The Grammys is a music awards. You're gonna have music performances, and I will say some of the artists were way better than others. Don't nobody kill me. I know that they have a huge fan base, and I do like some of their music, but Cat Eyes, the live performance was not. I'm be nice. Their music is great. I love their music. I was disappointed in the performance, the live performance. I'll say that. I just expected better, but it is what it is. Rose with Bruno Mars ATP. Yeah, they were pretty good. I like their energy on stage, but again, it wasn't what I expected when I heard that they were performing. Doesn't mean I don't love the track or I don't love them. It's just that the expectations I had versus the actual live performance, I don't know. Olivia Dean. Oh my gosh. I've heard her name a lot. I'm gonna be honest, I've heard of her a lot. I did not know who she was until they played her song, Man I Need. And I was like, oh, that's her. That's the girl. Okay. Now I get it. She was great. She performed the song Man I Need, and she was great. She was amazing. I believe she's from the UK. And I get the hype. I get the hype now. I was not familiar. Like I said, she was one of those artists. I heard her name a lot, and I heard the song a lot because a lot of people use the song "Man I Need" in like TikTok videos, reels, and stuff like that. I've heard it in a commercial. I just didn't put the face to the name, the song to the name, and so it just didn't click into Grammy night. I was like, that's the girl. And so I get it. And now I'm compelled and I want to go back and listen to all her music now. Cause I was like, I do like that song. I like that track, Man I Need. I just didn't know it was her. So she won an award, but she also performed the song, the award-winning song. And so I enjoyed that. Her vocals are great, amazing. She can sing live, unlike some people. And it was good. It was good to see her perform. On that stage. Justin Bieber, Yukon. I like Yukon. I like that whole album, like I said, because they made one of my top albums of the year. It was very simple. You know, he was on stage shirtless with some shorts on, but it was a great rendition of Yukon, and Justin is he's really, really good. He can do slower songs. He can do ballads, and I think he did an okay job on this one. He did real good. He did great. I like his vocals in this song. Sabrina Carpenter, I get the hype, but I feel like she's a little overrated. She's a great performer. She has stage presence out the wazoo. She has vocals. She's great. But I feel like they're pushing her way too much on us. They're trying to make her the next Taylor Swift. I feel like it's going in that direction. But I did enjoy her performance. Pretty cute, pretty good. Um, let's get to like I said, I told y'all, Lauryn Hill with the In Memoriam tribute to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack was my top performance of the night. But I will say this, besides Lauryn Hill, the two people who commanded the stage, who made it entertaining, and who had the vocals, particularly one of them had the vocals. You knew that microphone was on. It wasn't no lip singing. And that is both Lady Gaga and Tyler, the Creator. Now let's get to Tyler, the Creator. He did 2 songs. I know one was Sugar on My Tongue. I forgot the other one, the one before that, of Chromacopia. But Tyler, when I tell you that boy is so entertaining, I really, really want to see him live on stage. Like I hate that Chromacopia, the concert, the tour was not closer to where I live, where I could go see it. But after seeing this Grammy performance, I'm like, dang, if he ever go back on tour, I'm just gonna have to travel. If I gotta travel and fly to Atlanta or Chicago or New York or one of these cities where he always stop at, but never close to Memphis, I'm gonna have to go. Or one of these music festivals, I'm gonna have to invest some money and go to one of these music festivals. I need to see him live because him on stage was amazing. Having Regina King come for a little cameo within his performance right before he did Sugar on My Tongue was great. The background, one thing about Tyler, he knows how to direct and make a spectacle out of things. So while he's performing his songs, you see all this crazy stuff happening in the background. Things are happening because he's telling a story or whatever, and it's just very entertaining and comical. Tyler, the Creator, was one of the best performances of that night, and I'm so happy for all of the love that he's been getting lately. He is a great stage performer, and rapping skills, he got that. So Tyler was great. Lady Gaga, like I said, her microphone was on. There was no lip singing. She gave you vocals, and she did Abracadabra, but it felt like a more 80s synth rock version. And to be honest, Abracadabra is my least favorite song on the album. But this version, this live Grammy version she did, was amazing. It was so good that I downloaded it and put it on my MP3 player. I would rather listen to this, the live Grammy performance version, over the album version of Abracadabra. Like the guitars, the drums, the piano, like I said, it started off like a more 80s synth version of her song. Super amazing, super dope, and super cool. The camera work, I think she used a RoboCam. Our church uses those type of fancy cameras where you have a camera on the stage, is actually lower on the floor, and it moves different ways, like the person in the background, like the producer or camera operator off scene, off stage in the background could maneuver it with it looks like a video game controller. We have several of those, and you're controlling whatever the RoboCam, whatever camera they were using to get the different versions, and it moving on beat with her in the music and that shit was amazing. To me, that was amazing. Like, shout out to that camera operator, shout out to the producers, the behind the scenes people. That was some shit. Like, it was moving with her, but also in sync with the music. It was dope. So Gaga, come on, it's Gaga. If they say she's performing live on stage, she's gonna perform live on stage. She gave you the theatrics. She gave you the weird outfit costume. It looked like it was a eyelash, whatever fuck. It was Gaga. Like, it is what it is. She was one of the best of the best. Her and Tyler, the Creator, and Lauryn Hill were the best performances of the night. I enjoyed all those, and I've been watching those videos on repeat on YouTube because they're on there now. They're on YouTube. You can look them up. I've been watching this shit on repeat. Like, so great, so good. Now let's get to the big four, the winners, the big four records that mean the most to everybody, the ones that you have to watch the entire show to wait to get the results. Let's talk about them for a second. Hold on. Let's see. All right. The Big Four awards. Song of the Year. Song of the Year went to Billie Eilish for Wildflower. I about to say wildfire, wildflower. So shout out to Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish, her album was cool. It was good. It wasn't the best to me. It wasn't my favorite Billie Eilish album. I think her last album before this one was better, in my humble opinion. But that's just me. But it was still a good album, and Wildflower was a good song. So I get why she won. I just, out of all the nominees, I would have preferred others over that one, but I get it and I understand. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, she didn't deserve it. Now, to me, when it came to Song of the Year, any of those people would have won, and I wouldn't have cared. Honestly, it wouldn't have been no skin in the game for me. But uh and her speech is great. I love that Billie stands on business. She don't care what people think. She don't care about ostracizing any community, um for her morals and for human decency. So thank you, Billie, for speaking truth and saying fuck ICE and everything else. So I appreciate you. But yeah, out of all those for Song of the Year, I'm not mad at her for winning. I just expected either Kendrick or Bad Bunny to win. But it is what it is. So congrats to her and Phineas, her brother, because they collab and write music together. Uh, they always write music together, so they always win together. So shout out to them, dynamic duo. Record of the year. Record of the year goes to Kendrick Lamar and SZA for Luther, and I'm so happy about that. That's greatly uh deserved. Now, the funny part was, shout out to Cher. Cher, she's a legend, but we gonna give her grace because she's old. We gonna give her grace. When she announced the winner, of course, the song is called Luther. So when she announced Song of the Year, of course, she's gonna she got excited and said that the winner is Luther Vandross. And the memes went crazy. The memes on social media was crazy because it was like Luther Vandross realizing in heaven, realizing he won a Grammy. That was funny. That was fun. That was a funny mistake. And then she corrected herself and was like Kendrick Lamar and SZA for the song Luther. But it was hilarious. And even Kendrick Lamar, when he went up and did his acceptance speech, he was like, shout out to Luther Vandross, which is great because they used the sample of Luther, like the song, they used the sample. So technically, yeah, Luther did win. Luther Vandross did win because, he got writing credits because they sampled one of his songs and stuff like that. But it was just hilarious. It was a hilarious moment for that type of mistake. And like I said, we're gonna give Cher grace because she's old, but it was funny. It was funny. Oh my gosh. But shout out to Kendrick and SZA. Their acceptance speeches were great, and they definitely deserve Record of the Year because that song went crazy last year. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh shoot, lost my spot. There we go. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I got my notes on my iPad as well. New artist went to Olivia Dean. Congrats to her. Out of all the new artists, yeah, she deserved it. Now, me personally, I was going for Leon Thomas because his album went crazy last year. I really thought he was gonna go home with that. However, I'm not mad at Olivia Dean for winning, because again, her song went crazy, her record went crazy. So it could have been either one of those. It could have been either one of those. So I'm not mad at that. And then, of course, the big album of the year, the record of records, the record that everybody was paying attention to. Now, I honestly thought that, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I thought the Grammys were going to Grammy, which means they were going to give it to their favorite. It was going to be politics, and they were going to give it to Sabrina Carpenter because, like I said, they've been pushing her heavy. They're trying to make her the new Taylor Swift as their golden child. I really, really thought she was going to go home with that. I was not expecting any other person to win that. Me personally, I would have rather it been either Tyler the Creator, Lady Gaga, or Kendrick Lamar. Those were just my personal favorites. But I knew the Grammys weren't gonna give to either of those. I just expected it. So when they said Bad Bunny, I was like, holy shit. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. But I was so happy. And his reaction, where he just sat there for a minute. He didn't even jump up. He just sat there for a minute, covered his eyes. I know he was having an emotional moment, but I was so happy for that man. He very well deserved it. I just didn't think the Grammys was gonna give it to him, but I was so happy he won Album of the Year. Well deserved. And it makes me extra excited because this Sunday is Super Bowl and he is the headliner of the halftime show. So I'm super, super happy for him. So congrats to Bad Bunny. And then before I finish with the winners, I'm happy that FKA Twigs won Best Dance Electronic Album. These are the smaller stuff. Best Pop Duo Group Performance with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande for Defying Gravity for Wicked. I'm happy they won that. Lady Gaga won Best Pop Vocal Album for Mayhem. Y'all know I was happy about that. So Gaga won about 2 awards in the pop category. Youngblood won Best Rock Performance in the Rock and Metal division. I was happy about that. I love me some Youngblood. That boy is dope. His music's dope. As far as rock goes, the Clips. Shout out to the Clips. They won Best Rap Performance for Whips and Chain, and then of course, Kendrick won Best Rap Song, Best Melodic Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album. Rightfully so. GNX was that shit. Let's see. We ain't studying country because those racist ass bastards got so mad at Beyonce last year that they made a brand new category for their stuff. So we not going to even pay them no mind. Fuck y'all. Because they didn't like that a black woman won Best Country, but I digress. Kehlani won Best R&B Performance, Best R&B Song. Leon Thomas did win a Grammy. Congrats to him for Mutt for Best R&B Album, and I am not mad at that. He well deserved that. That Mutt is great, and to see him go from being a actor on Nickelodeon to now being a Grammy Award winning producer, writer, and singer. Woo. That was a journey to that I love watching. Leon Thomas is that dude as far as R&B goes. Tyler won Best African Music. Let's see. Of course, Sinners for film and TV for soundtrack and score. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any of my other favorites that I like. Dolce won Best Music Video for Anxiety. Let's see. So shout out to her. Yeah, so those are the main ones I wanted to talk about. And then overall as a show, as a award show, and as far as winners go, this is one of the best Grammys that's ever happened. Everybody who won rightfully deserved it. And it was well diverse in the winners. It wasn't like past years where Taylor Swift went home with everything, or or they tried to give it to some random that nobody ever heard of, and they like, who is that? It was just crazy. So yeah, I'm so happy. This was one of the best ones. Everybody who won something deserved what they won. I don't think anybody got snubbed, in my humble opinion, based off the albums and records that I heard last year. Of course, I didn't listen to everything, so I can't speak on certain stuff like the jazz categories or the country music categories and things like that. But for the ones, the dance, the rock, the R&B, the hip hop, and the main four, everybody deserved that got it, that won. At least in my eyes. I did wish that Tyler, the creator, won something in the hip hop, but again, he was going against Kendrick Lamar and the Clips. And all three of them dropped amazing rap albums. That's why all three of them ended up in my top 10 best albums of 2025. Like they all did great. So I wish he would have went home with some type of trophy, but he was one of the best performances on stage though, as far as performances, and he deserved every nomination he got, because Chromacopia was that shit. That was that album, and it was amazing. So that was about the only thing. I just wish Tyler the creator went home with something. Maybe not one of the big four, although I could argue he could have gotten one of the big four, but he should have went with something. TJ said, well, damn, Elias, on that country segment. I'm not finna entertain these motherfuckers. Like, oh, Beyonce won Best Country Album, so we're going to create a brand new category. One is Best Traditional and one is Best Contemporary. Like, so you made a category for the niggas. That's basically what you're saying. That's basically what you're saying. Like, fuck y'all. And y'all only did that because she won last year. Show us you're not racist without showing us you're racist, even though country music started with black folks. We invented it just like we invented rock and roll and house music, electronic dance. I'm sorry, not sorry. So I don't care who won. Well, congrats to Shabuzi. I do like Shabuzi. And even though his speech was a little crazy and cringe, I do enjoy Jelly Roll. I'm not gonna hate on Jelly Roll. He did win too. I just thought that speech was very cringe and very. I had secondhand embarrassment because I was like, "Yikes, you about to get backlash for that." But it is what it is. But his music is great. I love it. But other than that, I don't give a damn about country music. I really don't. Mitzi, thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. Oh God, Eric B, I see you. Thanks for tapping in. A Ron said Youngblood is definitely my favorite. Yeah, Youngblood is great. I love him. I love him. He is amazing. I've been listening to him for a while now. He's one of those artists that I discovered back when I was working at Target. I was working in electronics, and I was, putting albums up on the shelf, and one of his albums, the cover art just got my attention. I said, let me listen to this, see what that's about. And I've been a fan ever since. I love me some Youngblood. He's one of my favorite little rock guys. Super dope. Oh, let's see. Oh, and good morning, Parker. I said hey to Missy, but good morning, Parker. So overall, this is one of the best Grammy Awards in a while, in a long time. I enjoyed it. I don't think anybody got snubbed. Everybody who won deserved it. And the from the tributes to the main performances that were televised, everything was great. Everybody came with their A game, and this is why I love music so much. Music is one of the best creative art forms in the world. Argue with your mama. And that's coming from someone who got a degree in film and video production. I wanted to be a music producer back in the day, but I'm not as talented as my family. My mom is a singer, taught herself how to play the piano at the age of 12 just by listening. My sisters, they can all sing and stuff like that. I'm the visual creative. I'm the visual artist. I'm not the vocal artist. But I do love and respect music. And so I love the Grammys for that, because that's just a big passion of mine. It's just great. Music is very spiritual. It's very spiritual. It's not just entertainment. It's very spiritual. It's very, um, it's hard to explain, but it's just a part of us. It's part of us as human beings. Singing, dancing, all that stuff, moving your body. Like, it's just who we are at our core. No matter what culture or background or whatever, music is universal, basically. It's something that aligns with our spirit. And it's been like that since the beginning of time. And as someone who used to be a Grammy board member, someone who used to vote back in the day, when I was in college and I was part of the college division, I'm happy for once. This is one of those award shows where when I turned off the TV and I turned off the apps and the threads, I was very happy and excited. Last year's award show was good too. Last year's award show was amazing. This year's award show was 10 times better. So I ain't mad at the Grammys this year. I ain't mad at all. But we'll see how the Oscars go when they finally premiere and we see who wins, who gets snubbed. But so far, the Grammys, out of all the big award shows, the Grammys have been my favorite so far this year. So we'll see. We'll see how the rest go in award seasons with the Tonys and the Oscars and all that other jazz. But anywho, if you have not seen the Grammy Awards, guess what? If you don't want to watch the whole ceremony, the performances, the acceptance speeches, the winners, list of winners are all on YouTube for free. You can go watch those clips and see that stuff if you haven't already seen it. And let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the winners? Do you agree with the performances? Which performances were your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Hashtag replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang. Before we leave today, next week, I'm eventually coming back to reviewing movies. We've been snowed in for 2 weeks in Memphis. Like, I have not worked for 2 weeks. And so I was on my Jack Sparrow time, bored out my mind watching movies. And some people have made some suggestions. I haven't watched all of them. I know Bear has suggested RIP on Netflix. I have not watched that yet, but it's on the docket. So I will be letting y'all know what I review next week. And then also yesterday, J. Cole dropped his album, The Fall Off. So if not next week, the week after, I will be reviewing that album. He finally dropped his highly anticipated The Fall Off. I listened to some of it this morning, but not enough to make a full review right now. But so far, out of the few songs that I listened to, I'm liking what I'm hearing. And it's supposed to be a 2-disc track, like disc 1, disc 2. But what is that on streaming? It's like a lot of songs. But either way, I will listen to those throughout the week, throughout these next 2 weeks. Take it in, and then I'll come back with a full-fledged review of J. Cole's The Fall Off album. But like I said, so far so good what I hear. I'm liking. But yeah, thank y'all for tapping in. Later on today, OTP Off the Plank podcast will be on DJ's Royal Caribbean channel, and they have Rashad as their guest. So tap into that. I probably will still be out celebrating my mom's birthday. Shout out to mom again. She's 58 on today. And so if you don't see me, still go tap in, hit that, watch them live, support my bros, DJ and Brian and Brandon and Ash and everybody else in that conglomerate, everybody who's a part of OTP, support them. And then right after them, Wiz's channel, Sophisticated Ignorance. Hopefully I'm done with everything and be home by then. But if not, y'all hear me, y'all will see me and talk to me in the chats. It's just today is all about family. So I might be busy. I have my nieces and nephews and sisters and everybody. We're celebrating mom. So if y'all don't see me the rest of the day, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Also tune in tomorrow, Father Dunn, Everyday Keepers. Tune in tomorrow after that, FNA with the Serpent show, Sunday show. And support everybody. Tap in every Thursday on this channel for the Shenanigans podcast with me, Candy, Bear, Maki, Father Dunn. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Again, thank you to our sponsor, ENT Reptiles. Thank you for sponsoring the channel, sponsoring Snake Cinema Podcast, and sponsoring the Shenanigans Podcast. We appreciate you as our sponsors. And we will see y'all next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central, right here. Same time, same place. Snake Cinema Podcast. Thank y'all. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay gang. And again, Bosa, the live auction for Bosa is next weekend on Wiz's channel. So donate to Bosa's Cash App, support his family, him and his kids, help them any way you can. So Cash App is right there for Bosa, and tune in next week for their auction for Bosa and his family. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And that is it, everybody. for this episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. I'm your humble host, Prince Elias. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace. Love y'all, family.
Episode, speaking truth, old school jams and the latest youth. We keep it real, no sugarcoat.